Statement number 3. The NFL should blank for their new overtime rules. And I will preface this, I'll put it in quotes, a non-traditional rule set.
So I'm going to first say the NFL should outsource for their new OT rules. I don't think that it should be anyone within the NFL office or associated with the NFL making that decision.
Great call.
It should be the everyday fans, the average people that know what an entertaining football game looks like. Have them all sit in a room, bounce ideas off of each other, and something good is going to come out of that.
Thank you, Alex. I am honored for that position. I will humbly accept the position as the new rule maker for the NFL. That's very nice of you.
Specifically the overtime rule maker. You only come into play when overtime comes in, and it's almost like we send our most noble knights to the most noble fights. And you, my friend, have been selected to make this game-changing decision for the rest of overtime. And let's preface this: playoff overtime. Honestly, keep the overtime rules in the regular season. That's totally fine. For playoffs, it needs to be different. They already changed the overtime rules for the playoffs, so it's clearly, it's been a precedent to set to monitor or alter from regular season to the playoffs. So I honestly don't have a great idea that's better than your 50-yard line idea. I think that's perfect. Going back and forth from the 50s seems like the only logical way to decide who's better that day. It gives you the chance to your defense to step up, your special teams to step up, your offense to step up. Both teams get a chance for it. It just seems like it's the better team is going to win out in that situation more often, and that's all that you want from overtime.
You know what? In terms of, I'm so bummed that we never got this. We got really close, but when the XFL came back in 2020, their overtime rules were as a 2-point conversion shootout.
Yep.
I want to see that in action, all right? But, Alex, hear me out. Here is how we settle overtime at any time of the year, all right? We take the opposing strength and conditioning coaches, all right? And we put a bench on the 50-yard line in the middle of the field, put 225 pounds on that sumbitch, and we have the bench off. And whoever benches the most reps wins the game for their team.
I honestly think that that's the only logical way to do it too, because it really puts a value on that support staff, and all of a sudden, most important player or staff member on your team is a strength and conditioning coach, which I think has a good trickle down effect for the entire team.
And you all know which college coach is going to be making a crap ton of money if this rule is made?
The guy from Northwestern.
Yes, sir.
Incredible. I think what's his name, Alex?
Yeah, he is a monster.
He's incredible.
I love him. I love him so much.
Why do they know exactly who you're talking about? Because he's a monster.
Well, it's because we're on the same wavelength too. Or I like to submit a secondary idea, still with the strength and conditioning coaches, but you put some 10-ounce boxing gloves on those guys and let them go to work.
Man, that's another way to do it.
But Alex, one man enters the logo, one man leaves, one team wins.
How about instead of that, you just take the 2 heaviest players from each team and do the same thing? Maybe
but sumo wrestling.
That could be it.
Hey,
that could be when Vince Wilfork comes out of retirement.
You want to know who would have been the best sumo wrestler of all time?
Refrigerator Perry.
Larry Allen.
Oh, well, okay. There you go. Offensive lineman.
Yes, sir. We got a theme going on this show. Offensive line, baby. Dude, I like the sumo off. They actually used to have that event in World's Strongest Man in like the 80s, I think.
You big a World's Strongest Man historian or something?
No, but I'm a fan of the sport. Shout out to Brian Shaw, the greatest athlete in the world, the strongest man to ever exist. A tank that is 6'10", 430 pounds, and can pull airplane cargo in pools, kind of planes that Alex, your brother, flies. Big old C-130s, and he just kind of walks with that on his back.
He does. Just no big deal.
We have our morning walks. He has his morning C-130 pools. It's not the same.
No.
Jeez, what a specimen that is. But drop us your overtime rules and what you guys would like to see, whether it be traditional, I would love that, whether it be non-traditional. If you guys could top me, I will do something. I will not guarantee anything right now because
shout out on the show. The best idea that we get between now and the next show, we'll get a shout out and a personal compliment from yours truly.
Well, because that means more than anything in the world. Absolutely.
But you know how many compliments I give out? Very little.
Right? I've only complimented like a few people, but is what it is. So, especially honor from you, Alex, really does mean everything to anyone.